to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today Around Kansas has the story of Dietrich Lamedy, a German immigrant who in 1885 saved a Pennsylvania newspaper called Grit, the same one being printed in Kansas today. Next we'll introduce Randy Sparks, the singer-songwriter who formed the New Christy Minstrels. Then enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson and some fun information about armadillos in Kansas. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road. Hey, what day is it?
Must be Wednesday.
Must be Wednesday. Yes, it is. Hello, I'm Frank Chafin.
I'm Deb Goodrich. Good morning.
And this is Around Kansas, and we're kind of in another corner of the Dillon House here in Topeka, which is, of course, across the street from the state capitol. And you can see this beautiful gold piano behind us.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
I was president of the Shawnee County Historical Society when that restoration was done. And Shawnee County Historical Society actually owns that piano. And God bless them, the folks at the Dillon House restored it and keep it on hand here because gosh knows we don't have any place to keep it that does it justice, and so it worked out really wonderfully. It's a pleasure to see that thing looking so nice.
So here we are in August already.
Cannot
Good
believe
grief.
it's August.
I know. So what have you been up to?
Well, yesterday I had a bus tour. I was with the Lewis and Clark convention folks, conference folks in Kansas City, and did a bus tour from, basically we started at the Argosy Casino where folks were staying, and we went up the river to St. Joe. So we followed the course that Lewis and Clark took in 1804 up the Missouri River. And most of these places, when we were doing the reconnoiter for the tour, I had been to. One of them, I hate to admit, I had not been to because it's a little hike, and I think the day I was there, maybe it was raining or something. The place they spent July 4th, 1804. And so they named it Independence Creek, and to be there, and it's basically a creek bank in the woods. I mean, there's nothing, too developed about it. It's marked, and there is a DAR marker there, but it was really exciting.
It is. It's hard to imagine. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere.
I mean, there's no quick shop around the corner. It's like if you want a snack, you got to go out and shoot it. So.
Well, near the July 4th campsite was a grand village of the Kansas, they called it, and they spelled Kansas C-A-N-Z-E-S, I believe, so they're talking about the Kansas Indians. So there was a grand village of the Kansas that they are doing some trading with, and that's one of the first encounters, and they'll keep encountering different tribes as they go on up the Missouri River. So yeah, incredible. Undaunted Courage, if you've never read it, by Stephen Ambrose. Undaunted Courage. Every American should read that book. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. So lots of fun places.
We'll be back.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
If you missed the opportunity to apply crabgrass preventer to your lawn last month, there's still time. Apply Fertilum's new product, Professional Turf Weed Out Plus Crabgrass Preventer. This product kills new crabgrass. It also prevents new crabgrass and other weeds, kills dandelions, and fertilizes your lawn all in one application.
Visit Jackson's. We'll show you how to grow the best lawn in your neighborhood.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We are having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
And we're back.
So did you read Grit or Deliver Grit when you were a kid growing up?
No, but you always saw it around, you know, Grit and with the frog and what's this all about? So.
Well, when I was a kid back in the Blue Ridge Mountains, we had a neighbor boy who sold Grit, and newsboys all over the country carried the Grit magazine. And so back then it was a tabloid, but I remember, I have great memories of reading Grit, and it was sort of a newsy thing for rural America. It's like rural America's newspaper, I guess you would put it. But it's been around forever, and of course it's published right here in Topeka.
In Topeka,
in Topeka, Ogden Publications. And my good friend Hank Will is the editor, and some kind of higher up now that Brian Welch left Ogden. And Brian was just a phenomenal guy, phenomenal writer. Hank is amazing, and of course Hank farms and ranches, and he makes knives. He does his beautiful little bone knives. He just, such talented people we have in Kansas.
What I'd like to know though is why the frog?
I forgot to ask about that. I don't know. We'll have to. All right, Hank, you call me. Call me. Let's take a look. Dietrich Lamad was a 23-year-old German immigrant working for a Pennsylvania newspaper. In December 1882, the paper began a Saturday edition titled Grit, which included local news items, editorials, and humorous tidbits. No one seems to know how the name Grit came about. When the paper was slated to close, Lamad convinced 2 other men to become his partners in saving the publication. He went through 7 partners and accrued a mountain of debt. Lamad knew that local readership would not be enough to keep the new publication going, so he began traveling the region searching for sales agents and news correspondents. He sold his partners on the idea of a contest, still legal in those days, in which readers would send in coupons for chances at winning various prizes. The drawing was held Thanksgiving 1885, with 3 out-of-towners and 2 local subscribers winning the 5 grand prizes. When the dust cleared, Grit had 14,000 subscribers and $400 in the bank, with all the bills paid. The partners gave themselves a raise from $12 a week to $15. It was about 1891 that Lamad hit upon another grand idea: newsboys to sell Grit directly to the public, and the newspaper began to expand to small towns across the country. In the 1950s, Grit continued to be sold by newsboys, with about 30,000 carriers delivering more than 700,000 copies. Stauffer Communications of Topeka purchased the magazine in 1983. It was later sold to Ogden Publications, also headquartered in Topeka. Editor Hank Will said the newsprint format was redesigned to a glossy bi-monthly in 2006. The focus was narrowed from a rural newspaper to a, quote, positive-spirited niche magazine devoted to the rural lifestyle. He acknowledges many readers do not live in a rural setting, but manage container gardens or raise chickens in Chicago somehow. He also points to the sense of community created by the magazine, people helping one another, encouraging and offering advice. Hank said even though the magazine has evolved, it remains true to its roots. Founder Dietrich Lamad said in one of his notes to his sons, "Whenever possible, suggest peace and goodwill toward men. Give our readers courage and strength for their daily task. By such a course, we can do much to improve the minds and lives of the millions of people who read Grit and bring them a higher realization of their duties in life. It is that attitude that has made Grit one of the longest-running publications in the country. Hank said it has been a part of the American tapestry, particularly in the heartland and rural areas throughout the nation, for many, many years. If the old adage could be rewritten, it would be, as American as Mom, apple pie, and Grit.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe, here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
And we're back again. That was an interesting story. So anyway, you know, that's done in Kansas now. And we've talked a lot about people that are in show business that are from Kansas. And of course, one of my favorite people is Randy Sparks, because I got to know him about 15 years ago when he came and did a concert over at Ward Mead. Mm-hmm. And anyway, he's 82 years old and he's still out on the road with the New Christy Minstrels.
Oh, I have to tell you, I was a fan of the New Christy Minstrels long before I ever came to Kansas. So,
well, and there was a music teacher, I believe, several years ago at Washburn Rural that used the New Christy Minstrels music in the music class. Because I know I was talking to someone that's somewhat a whole lot younger than me about the New Christy Minstrels and said, you probably don't know who they are, and went, no, we did their music in class at Washburn Rural. And I went, oh, cool. So,
it is cool.
Anyway.
A lot of talent.
I'll tell you about Randy Sparks.
Randy Sparks was born 82 years ago in Leavenworth, Kansas. He joined the Navy, and during his service, he won many talent contests singing his songs. After Navy service, he tried his fortune in California. Fortune he found as he was discovered by Bob Hope, and Randy made several appearances on the Bob Hope TV show. In the 60s, he formed a multi-voice folk group called the New Christy Minstrels. They had many songs on the pop charts, and one was nominated for an Academy Award in 1962. The song was Today from the movie Advance to the Rear, for which he wrote the songs and the score. The New Christy Minstrels also were frequent performers on The Andy Williams Show. Randy is still a prolific songwriter and poet. Yes, he reformed the New Christy Minstrels some 15 years ago, and they're probably doing a concert somewhere to a sold-out house this weekend. Randy still identifies with Kansas. He's written 28 songs about his home state. Around Kansas has used one of them as our theme. However, now I'll let you hear the entire lyrics to that song. Here we go. Welcome to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red-ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream. Welcome to Kansas, home on the range. Freckles and moonbeams, fiddles on the grange. Talk about your little house on the prairie. Talk about your amber waves of grain. You can't fault the weather. It's only temporary, like the lonesome whistle of a train. There you go. Welcome to Kansas. Randy Sparks, Kansas. See ya somewhere around Kansas.
From the Land of Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's meet the Barns at Timber Creek, located at 14704 91st Road in Winfield, Kansas. The first barn you drive up to is the main B&B with 5 elegant country-themed guest rooms. These elegant country-themed rooms, the birdhouse, the granary, the southwestern, the rail yard, and the barn owl are all complete with private baths, satellite TV, wireless internet, and air conditioning. Adjacent to the B&B is the barn owl treehouse guest room, a private room with a bath and a tree. Within eyesight is the stone barn, a perfect place for wedding receptions, company meetings, or special celebrations. The stone barn is tucked away in the old stone quarry and is also a great site for concert venues. For more information and to make a reservation, go to timbercreekbarns.com.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
The year 2015 marks the 75th anniversary since the founding of the American Quarter Horse Association, and one of the founding members of the AQHA was a fellow named Dan Casement, who actually lived on a farm just about 10 miles due north of where our ranch is. So this poem is in honor of the quarter horse, America's quarter horse at 75. Throughout the history of the West, a legendary horse was part of the horse breeder's quest, a cowboy's major force. This horse had a quick burst of speed to win the quarter mile. There was strong muscling in the steed that gave him certain style. At first it was the Steel Dust sire in 1844 who met the cowboy's prime desire for quickness, strength, and more. This horse was bred for bone and muscle, intelligent somehow. With all the inborn heart and hustle it took to tend a cow. His name became the quarter horse for his distinctive speed, his record on the racetrack course the basis for the breed. And one March day down in Fort Worth, down at the Fat Stock Show, came the association's birth those many years ago. The best of breeders came and met to form a new creation. The structure of the years was set in this association. The fledgling organization, through generations bred, has grown throughout the nation to some 5 million head. So thank those equine pioneers, give praise for this resource. We honor 75 years, the nation's quarter horse. Happy trails.
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses in rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. About a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery. And so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results with stem cell injections, but at about 3 to 3.5 months, I started to feel better. I started to have less pain and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously.
Healthy cows start with the new hired hand automatic livestock sprayer. Rancher invented to provide an efficient alternative to pour-on and injectable parasite management systems. The portable design allows cattle to treat themselves head to hoof. Strategic device placement with pass-through activation technology takes the stress out of parasite treatment for cattle and the rancher. Get the new hired hand for yourself or become a distributor. Visit cowsprayer.com. The new hired hand makes healthy cows easy.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com. Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
We have too much fun.
We have too much fun.
And it's really too early in the morning. So.
It is. Does anybody really watch us at 5 o'clock, you think? I know they do.
Yes, they do. Yes,
I know
do.
some of the people do, but there's a lot of them that wait till it rolls around again at 6:30 or watch online. Whenever you watch, we're grateful for it.
So, anyway.
Armadillos.
Armadillos in Kansas, believe it or not.
It's an invasion. You know, I have friends who believe it's a conspiracy, that somebody is behind it, you know, and they've planted the armadillos here just to take over. And when I moved to Kansas 20 years ago, that's when I guess you just first started seeing them just over the Oklahoma border, you know, just over. But now there are reports, they're all over the place. And we were out, we were headed down towards, I think it was Great Bend, when I saw one on the side of the road not too long ago. So I know that they're all over. This wonderful bluegrass group, Western and Bluegrass down in Oklahoma, Mountain Smoke has this great original song, Armadillo Suicide, and it's about why did the armadillo cross the road? You know, was it love or was it lust or whatever that made him cross the road and die there in the middle of the road? But
are they considered pests? Or, I mean, if they're walking across the road, they are, but...
Not really. They don't cause much harm. They don't have many natural predators. They're just entertaining little beasties, you know, so no, they don't really create much of a problem.
Okay, so I'm really interested. Let's talk about armadillos.
The comedian Jerry Clower called them possums on the half shell. The armadillo is related to the aardvark, or anteater, and the sloth, which makes it a burrowing little beast, not really a possum. There was a time not so long ago that one had to leave Kansas to see the odd little varmint scurrying across the highway. Not so any longer. The armadillo can be found almost anywhere in the state, even Kansas City. If you spot one, you won't likely confuse it with anything else, according to Fort Hays State's website, because the 9-banded armadillo is a highly specialized mammal that cannot be confused with any other mammal in North America. Highly specialized is right. It's almost as if a group of engineers took the spare parts from other animals and created an adaptable species with almost no natural predators, except for humans and pickup trucks. Its armor is really leathery skin on dermal plates with 9 telescoping bands in the middle of the back. The back, sides, top of the head, and even the tail are armored. It has a rat-like tail and ears like a rabbit with claws for digging. Armadillo is Spanish for little armored one, and the Aztecs called them turtle rabbits. It feeds mostly on insects, other invertebrates, a few berries and persimmons, occasionally a frog or bird. The offspring of the armadillo are identical quadruplets. Yes, 4 little armadillo babies from a single egg. When threatened, they roll into a ball, or they rapidly dig a burrow, or they squeeze themselves into a crack in a rock surface and arch their backs to prevent the predator from pulling them out. Small rivers normally are not a barrier to armadillos because they can swim and also can walk along the bottom for a considerable distance. Even though they do not hibernate and they do not have the layers of fat which enable them to endure extreme cold, their burrows, often lined with grass, can make for comfortable homes. Were it not for highways, they would be virtually indestructible.
Okay.
Another one in the can.
Another around Kansas. So anyway, till next time, I'm Frank Chafin.
I'm Deb Goodrich.
And we'll see you somewhere
around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part